Alright, now we're going to talk about these guys fighting it out. This is the part that gets a lot of people confused. We'll do the Russian first. This is defensive final fire, him firing at him. Neither guy are in motion. Alright, so we look at first we look at the to hit number. What's our base to hit number? We look at our range, which is 2 away. You look at your to hit table, which is C3. You look at your to hit table, we see for that range, it's a 10. Okay? So we start off with a 10. That's the number we need to roll to hit. And if you roll that number, you'll, depending on if you hit in the hull or the turret, you're going to either do you're going to do a shock or you're going to do immobilization. If you roll less than that number, you're probably going to kill that tank. All right. So if you roll less than, you eliminate the tank. If you roll equal to, you immobilize or pull shock. If you're +1, if you're 1 greater than the to kill number, then it's a possible shock, and you roll a subsequent die roll, the defender does, and sees what happens. So our number we want, the magic number, is a 10. So he has to roll a 10 on this guy. So the first thing we look at, then we go down to our fire. So we look at the Russian. The first thing we note is, we go right down the chart, is he firing outside his covered arc hex spine? No, he's firing straight down, so we don't have to worry about that. And he is a normal turreted, so if he was like, if he had a tri versus turret over to the left or the right, just 1 hex spine, then it would be +1, then +2, because he's got a normal turret. The Tiger has got a slow turret, so it would be a +2 for the first turret, then, or a hex spine, then +1, +1, +1. So right now we got nothing for that. Then we have fire in the advancing fire phase, no. Is it bounding fire? No. Bounding first fire? No. Bounding first fire? No. Motion? No, he's not in motion. Is he pinned? No. Is he firing in his hex? No. Intensive fire? No. Is he trying to immobilize it? No. Is he, and all those go down to number letter I. Is he buttoned up? Yes. So now he's got a +1. +1 for being buttoned up. All right, a little bit harder to hit. Anything else for fire based? No. If he had an armored leader inside this tank, he could reveal that armored leader, and that could possibly give him a -1 or a -2, even if it's a really good armored leader, to his to hit number. All right. So then we look at the target-based modifiers. Moving, motion, vehicle, or dash infantry, +2. Well, yes, he did move this player turn, so he's going to be a +2. So he's got +1 for button up, +2 for motion, or moving. It's not infantry, not concealed, not point, was it point blank range? Let's see here, point blank range, which is case L, non-stopped, motion target. No, he's not, he is stopped. But 2 hex range -1. So he has 2 hex range, so it's -1. So we're adding all these up. Alright, so that's a good thing for the shooter. Bore sighted, no. Acquired target, not yet. Hazardous move, target size modifier. Alright, so remember I showed you this red right here, 11, which means it's a large target. So that's another -1 to hit for the Russian. TEM, there is none. Line of sight hindrances, there is none. Alright, so we take those numbers, which is, starts at a 10, goes up to an 11 for being buttoned up, 12, 13 for being a moved target. Alright, so we had a base number of 10 to hit, we had +1 for being buttoned up, +2 for a vehicle that moved, but -1 and -1 for the size modifier and the range modifier, so these two cancel each other out. So we got a net of +1. Alright, now so I roll a 9. And this is where it's important. You got to determine, first of all, you have to roll a hit. Okay? And then you have to determine where he's going to hit. Well, we know that shooting at this Tiger, he's got this really awesome turret. Let's put these guys back here so you can see better. He's got this really awesome turret. So the Russian really wants to hit him in down in the hull, because the hull armor is only 8. So when you roll your 2 dice, it's pretty simple here. The to hit number that you roll, if the colored die is greater than the white die, it's a turret hit. All right, and if the colored die is greater than or equal to the white die, it's a hull hit. All right, so you roll your numbers and see if you hit. So he has to get a 9 to hit. Now this would be a good time for the Russian to declare special ammo. So he looks at the back of his counter, and let's say it's 1945. He needs a 6. All right, a 6 to shoot his special ammo off. And so on the to hit roll, which is a 9, he could declare, I'm going to declare special ammo. So he needs a 6. Now he needs a 6. Now the way this works is he rolls, and if he rolls a 5 or less, he hits, and he hits with special ammo. And the special ammo is going to have more penetrating power than normal ammo. If he rolls a 6, he hits, and it's his last round of special ammo, and you designate that on the tank later with no special ammo. And if he rolls a 7 or higher, he has no special ammo, and that shot didn't even count. And what we always say is never had it, never will, and then I'll do my real shot. So it's like a free shot. Never forget to declare your special ammo. So let's say he said, I want to do special ammo. He rolls a 7. Alright, never had special ammo, never will. Now I'll do my real shot. He needs to roll a 9. Alright, he rolls a 9. Let's say he rolls a 7. He hits. Alright, and we'll do it once to see if he hits in the turret, once he hits in the hull. So the first shot hits in the, let's look at the turret. He hits up in the turret, which is an 11. Alright, so he hits. It's a turret hit. Now we go to the next chart. We determine there's a hit. Woohoo! Yay for the Russian. Now we go to the to kill table. Alright, so first you look up the gun, which is an 85L. Look up the 85L, and you see what the to kill number is for a Russian 85L. It's a pretty good gun. 85L is a 17. Alright, pretty good to kill number. And then we look at the range modifier. We're only 2 away. Alright, so for greater than 65 millimeter, range of 1 or 2, plus 1, range of 2 is a 0, so there's no range modifier, so it's just a 17 to kill number. Then we look at the German. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. The German's frontal armor is an 11, but remember it's a superior turret, so it goes up to 11 to a 14. Alright, so now you take the 2 and subtract it, and you get the difference of 5, 6, 7, so a 3. On 2 dice, the Russian is going to have to roll a 3 to puncture that turret. On 2 dice. If he rolls a 3, it's exact, and it's going to it depends, you're hit it in the turret, so it'll be a shock. Alright, so if I rolled exact, it'll be a shock. If I rolled a 2, it'll kill. So Snake Eyes will kill that tiger. He rolls a 2 kills, a 3 will be a shock, and a 4 will be a possible shock. And we roll a subsequent die roll to see if he does a possible shock. Alright, so bad luck for the Russian. Now let's say that he hit in the same thing, 14 or 17 to kill number, but let's say he hit down inside the hull, alright, which is an 8. Well, 17 minus 8 is a lot better. That's a 9. Pretty good. 7, 8, 9. So he rolls that's a 9 to kill number. So now on 2 dice he just has to roll less than a 9 to kill. And if you ever roll less than half of the if you ever double basically the to kill number, it's a burning wreck. It explodes basically, and you put a burn symbol on it, and it's flaming, and it's all these bad things. But if it's a normal kill, then you get to roll the crew survival number, which is on the back. And if the crew survives, he bails out, and you stick a crew underneath the tank. Alright, so that's how you do that. Let's go back and say that he rolled a hit with his special ammo. So then let's look over the special ammo chart. Alright, special ammo. APCR, special ammo, 85L. Here it is. So it's up to a 19 now, which is only 2 factors, but that's pretty good. Alright, that gives you 2 more factors, and it gets you that free roll every time. Alright, so that was a real basic example of how a tank would fire at another tank. But the rules have it all laid out. You get the blue chart out and you just look at the numbers. Obviously, if it's in motion, it's going to be different. If you fire and miss, you get an automatic acquisition counter, and it makes your die roll for now on -1 to hit, and that acquisition counter can actually follow the enemy target if he moves around and he stays in line of sight. You shoot at him twice and miss twice, it's -2. You can get it all the way down to a -2 on your hit number with an acquisition. And you know, if you fire when you're moving, it's like an impossible shot, highly unlikely. Even if you do hit, then it's an improbable hit, and you got to roll again. So you could even wonderfully roll a Snake Eyes, and after that miss anyway. So it does a good job of simulating World War II armored combat. Armor is one of the best parts about ASL once you learn it, in my opinion. I love the armor factor. Maybe it's because I was a tanker in the Army for a while. I don't know. So don't be intimidated by tanks. Just take it step by step. Take your time. Set up a few simple scenarios with a Sherman versus a couple Shermans versus a Tiger, like 5 Shermans versus a Tiger. I'm just kidding. But and just go through it. Remember, rotating your turret. You got, remember, if it's a slow turret, normal turret, just the charts are laid out really well, and just don't skip any steps. Go through it step by step, and you should be okay. All right, so that's tank fighting. Things I didn't mention, which you learn through experience, is smoke dischargers and different ideas that you can do, the guys will do that you play to maximize their attacks. There's all kinds of stuff. I could go on forever. But these things come with experience. Just learn the basics and then build on to that through experience. All right, so if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. Otherwise, talk to you later.